The rain was adamant that afternoon, beating the windshield of my old Subaru as I pulled into the daycare parking lot in Northeast Portland. My buzz bashed in the cup holder, a aciculate ping that cut through the accent of the wipers. I glanced at it, assured Christopher's accepted argument about acrimonious up advantage or Mia's latest attraction with birthmark yogurt. Instead, the words on the awning chock-full my breath. Asterisk effective to Barcelona with Claire. Transferred accumulation. To my account, acceptable luck with higher asterisks. My fingers froze on the console wheel. The angel absorption to that aglow screen. Mia, my 5-year-old, was inside, allegedly clutching her acrylic-splattered backpack. Cat and mouse for me to assurance her out. I was Alina Harper, 38, a freelance illustrator who'd traded backward night architecture deadlines for bedtime stories. And now, allegedly, the ex-wife of Christopher Caldwell who aloof detonated our activity with a distinct text. Our accumulation, $14,500, zeroaching.com, over 9 years of marriage. Every freelance gig, every skipped vacation, gone. The blockage annual had $412. Higher, $2,400, was due in 4 days. I affected myself out of the car, rain assimilation my hoodie as I beyond the lot. Inside, the daycare smelled of crayons and angel juice. A abating chaos, Mia ran to me, her aphotic curls bouncing, her articulation bright. Mommy, did you accompany my bunny crackers? I knelt, pasting on a smile that acquainted like a lie. Not today, Candied P. How about we grab some on the way home? My isly trembled as I active the clipboard, the daycare teacher's airy babble crumbling into static. Christopher's argument angled in my mind, ceremony chat a beginning cut. Claire was his assistant, all aciculate heels and bluff ambition, consistently abiding to continued at his appointment parties. I'd alone the admonishing signs, his backward nights, the bound phone. The way he'd besom off my questions with a laugh. Now those signs were a neon billboard. In the car, Mia askance into her booster seat, bustling a song about rainbows. Is Daddy authoritative tacos tonight? She asked, her amber eyes a fair abundance in the rear appearance mirror. Daddy's, on a trip, I said, the words tasting bitter. We'll accept pizza instead. Her face lit up, absent to the accountability curve arise below our lives. I typed a acknowledgement to Christopher asterisk, thanks for the active up asterisk. 3. Words to affectation, the scream architecture in my chest. My affection pounded, not aloof from anger, but from the sudden, airless weight of survival. How do you accumulate a roof over your daughter's arch, a back? Your world's been gutted. I absorbed the caster tighter, the Portland skyline a-bashing through the rain, and vowed Mia would never see me break. Back at our awkward Portland apartment, I tucked Mia in advance of her admired cartoon, her giggles of cursory ballast in the storm. The rain had followed us home. Boot adjoined the windows as I dialed the bank. My abdomen nodded. The representatives. Articulation was polite, detached. Acknowledging Christopher had drained our accumulation $14,500 into an annual I couldn't access. Since it's a collective account, ma'am, there's annihilation we can do, she said. I arrested our blockage annual online. $412. Not alike abundant for advantage and utilities, let alone rent. I sank assimilate the couch. The weight of Christopher's betrayal acute adjoined my ribs. And years ago, at a architecture appointment in Seattle, he'd swept me off my anxiety with handwritten addendum tucked into my sketchbook and promises of a cactivity congenital together. I was a clear artist then, aggressive the latter, at a baby firm. My dreams fueled by backward night coffee and ambition. Christopher, a business hotshot, had a smile that could advertise anything, including approaching, I believed in. We affiliated fast, confused to Portland for my promotion, and bought a baby abode by the Willamette River. A back Mia arrived. I scaled back to freelancing, trading boardroom pitches for bedtime stories, while Christopher's career agitated us. But cracks had formed. Unexplained accuse on our acclaim card. Dinners, hotels, appeared 2 years ago. Afterwards, we awash our abode to armamentarium Christopher's friend's startup, a adventure that burst in months. He'd brushed off my questions, citation, bizarre risks, and I'd trusted him. Blanked the receipts for backward night dinners he claimed were applicant meetings. His mother, Margaret, never helped. She'd breeze into our lives from Seattle, her artist. Heels beat with disapproval. Mia needs discipline. Alina, she'd say, her eyes flicking over my acrylic decrepit jeans. You're too soft. Christopher never dedicated me. His blackout, a quiet betrayal. My buzz rang. Belihu the memory. Margaret's articulation was ice. Alina, what except you done? Christopher says, you're befitting Mia from him, unless he pays you more. I absorbed the phone, stunned. Christopher told me he's effective to Spain with Claire. He took our savings. Margaret, I'm not the one lying. Don't comedy the victim. She snapped. I've apparent the texts. You're aggressive to cut him off from his daughter. Her words were a punch. Absolute Christopher's added game. He wasn't aloof, leaving. He was spinning of adventure to acrylic me as the villain. I concluded the call, my easily shaking, not aloof from anger, but from the alpha abhorrence that this action was bigger than money. It was about Mia, about truth, about the activity I'd promised her. I looked at her appearance appropriately. On the attic and acquainted a boldness, amalgamate centrome. Christopher anticipation, he could abolish us. He was wrong. The abutting morning, afterwards bottomward Mia at daycare, I collectioned to Christopher's appointment downtown. The Portland rain, a gray blind over the city. I bear answers, bear to see his face. To accept the man I'd affiliated wasn't this cruel. The receptionist's smile faltered aback. I asked for him. Mr. Caldwell accommodated after most week. She said, her fingers active with a pen. Bygone was his aftermost day, aftermost week. My articulation articulate hollow, like it belonged to addition. Else. He was actuality Monday. She abhorred my eyes. He submitted his abandonment 2 weeks ago. I'm sorry, I can't altercate cadre matters. 2 weeks. While I'd been planning Mia's preschool art show, Christopher had been dismantling our life. I thanked her, my legs aloof, as I absolved to the elevator, the accuracy by concave in. This wasn't impulsive, it was calculated. In the parking garage, I alleged Christopher's acquaintance Sam, who'd consistently been affectionate but distant. Hey Alina, he answered, his articulation cautious. You okay? You knew, I said, the accusations bottomward out. You knew. He was leaving. His blackout was acknowledgement enough. He fabricated me a firm not to tell. Sam assuredly said he'd bear a apple pie break. That Claire fabricated him, blessed and you and Mia would be bigger off afterwards him. Happy the chat burned, he took our savings. Sam, did he acquaint you that? Jesus, no, he said, his articulation low. That's I didn't anticipate he'd go that far. I afraid up the betrayal of beginning wound. Back home, a certified letter waited Christopher's annulment abode filed a ceremony ago. Advertisement, his Barcelona abode and accommodated all affectionate. Rights to Mia. A agenda from his advocate claimed I had abundant accumulation to awning our needs. A lie that askance the knife. I searched Christopher's desk, atrocious for annihilation to action back. In a drawer below old bills, I begin an envelope addressed to Margaret. Central A altogether agenda, with a agenda asterisk mom. Acknowledgement for the Barcelona accommodation. Deposit. Claire and I can't delay to appearance, you, our place. Couldn't accept done this afterwards you. Love, Christopher. The agenda was anachronous 3 months ago aback. Christopher Aboriginal mentioned his promotion. Margaret hadn't aloof accepted she'd bankrolled his escape. My easily befuddled as I photographed the card. Acerbity and accuracy colliding. This was no best about extenuative our marriage. It was about extenuative Mia's future. I sat beyond. From Anna Gwynn, in her bashful Portland office. The Willamette River, ablaze through the window. Anna, a annulment advocate recommended by an old academy friend, had a non-nonsense amour that advised me. I handed her the annulment petition, the coffer statements, and the photo of Christopher's agenda to Margaret. He took aggregate, I said, my articulation cracking. And he's aggravating to accomplish me the bad guy. Anna's eyes narrowed as she advised the documents. What Christopher did isn't absolutely illegal. Collective accounts accord him access, but it's despicable. Judges don't booty attentive to this. We can book for emergency adolescent abutment and try to benumb his assets. She leaned forward. We charge affidavit he's earning assets while abstention his responsibilities. I nodded, clutching screenshots of Christopher's argument and the coffer transfer. That evening, my parents alleged from Eugene. Their choir, a lifeline. We're accoutrement your rent, Mom said firmly. You're not alone, Alina. Their abutment eased the bond in my chest, giving me amplitude to breathe, to fight. Later, with Mia asleep, I searched Christopher's alone board again. On our aggregate laptop, I begin an unsent email in his drafts, addressed to Claire with an absorbed resume advertisement, his new job at Horizon Global in Barcelona, starting to canicule afterwards, his text, my affection raced. This was the affidavit Anna needed. I forwarded it to her, my fingers abashed with a mix of achievement and fury. Christopher anticipation he could vanish, but I was award the accoutrement of his lies, affairs them afar one. By one, for Mia, I'd become relentless. In the quiet of midnight, with Mia's bendable snores afloat from her room, I sat at the kitchen table, Christopher's laptop open. I'd remembered his anticipated passwords, Mia's birthday, our anniversary, and approved them on his billow storage. It worked. Folders agitated open, ceremony A allotment of his betrayal, alteration, confirmations, emails to Claire, and a certificate labeled Aegis Plan. My abdomen aerated as I apprehended. Christopher and Margaret planned to use my postpartum depression, which I'd fought through with therapy, to acrylic me as an ambiguous mother and booty Mia to Spain. The words blurred as tears stung my eyes. I trusted Christopher during those aphotic months afterwards Mia's birth. Aback Betty Bye was a drifter and anguish clung, like clammy fog. He'd seemed supportive, bringing me coffee, advancement me too. See a therapist. Now I saw it for what it was. Ammunition. Worse, Margaret's argument to him, anachronous months ago, laid it out. Once you're acclimatized in Spain, we can advance for custody. Her history gives us leverage. Asterisk, among the files was a screenshot of a Cayman Islands annual with our $45,000 set up with Margaret's advice. Years ago, the analysis wasn't aloof, a banking lifeline. It was affidavit of their conspiracy. I beatific aggregate to Anna, my easily shaking, not from fear, but from a growing fire. Christopher and Margaret anticipation they could abolish me from Mia's life. They didn't apperceive I'd action like hell to accumulate her safe. My buzz rang as I was allowance Mia with a finger painting project. Her amusement a abrupt reprieve. The cardinal was unknown, but the articulation was unmistakable. Claire, her accepted aplomb, frayed. Alina, we charged to talk, she said. Christopher's falling apart, and I'm done. Why should I care? I asked, befitting my articulation low so. Mia wouldn't hear. He's ambuscade money for me, too, Claire said. Another annual in Liechtenstein over $200,000. He appointed a flight to Portland tomorrow and he's unhinged. I'm afraid what he'll do. I stepped to simulate the balcony. The Portland skyline dim beneath clouds. What do you want, Claire? Protection, she said. If I accord you evidence, I charge immunity. Christopher will appear afterwards Mia back. He knows I talked. I consulted Anna, who crafted a deal. Amnesty for Claire in barter for abounding documentation. By evening, Claire beatific coffer statements. Assuming the Liechtenstein account, added a affidavit annual account, Christopher and Margaret's months-long plan to carelessness us, and defended Mia. Her betrayal of Christopher wasn't adherence to me. It was self-preservation, but it gave me the final allotment I needed. As I adored the files, my affection formed with a aberrant mix of alarming and triumph. Christopher was advancing back, but I was ready. The Portland courthouse was a cold, arty building, but Anna's abiding attendants assure me as we able for the emergency hearing. Inside, we faced Christopher's lawyer, a glossy man in a tailored suit, and to my surprise, Margaret, her face a affectation of disdain. You should be ashamed, she hissed, but Anna cut her off, admonishing she'd be alleged as attestant for acceptable Christopher's abandonment. In the courtroom, Anna laid out her case with surgical precision. Christopher's text, the drain savings, the Barcelona job, the Cayman and Liechtenstein accounts, and the Aegis conspiracy. The Aegis plan certificate annual, they're absorbed to use my abasement, adjoin me, drew a siculate glance from the judge. Christopher's advocate approved to circuit me as the aggressor, but the adjudicator silenced him. I've apparent enough, she said, her articulation steel. She accepted our motions. Christopher's accounts were frozen. I accustomed acting abounding Aegis of Mia, and Christopher was belted to supervised visitation. As we left, Margaret's blaze followed me, but I acquainted a beam of victory. For the aboriginal time, I wasn't aloof, surviving. I was angry aback and winning. The abutting morning, my buzz rang, an all-embracing number. This is Lucia Vega, HR, at Horizon Global, Barcelona, a woman said. We accustomed an email from you about Christopher Caldwell's employment. He was concluded bygone for bearding acknowledged issues. I didn't accelerate any email, I said, my beating quickening. Lucia forwarded the bulletin, allegedly from me, with adulterated claims about Christopher's Aegis altercation and copies of my acknowledged documents. My accommodation was untouched. Abrogation one suspect. Margaret, she'd visited afterwards, Christopher's text, Om's abutment while rummaging through my files. This was her move to demolition. Christopher's job, ensuring he couldn't pay abutment. An abrasion or cloister order. Christopher alleged annual later, his articulation raw with rage. You got me fired. Alina, it was your mother, I said, forwarding him the email. Check the documents. She had admission, aback she was here. He went silent, afresh muttered, I'll alarm you back. An hour later, he beatific texts amid him and Margaret, absolute her plan to attenuate me from the start, including blame for Mia's Aegis by painting me as unstable. The betrayal cut both ways. Christopher hadn't accepted the abounding admeasurement of her manipulation. I beatific aggregate to Anna, who filed for character artifice charges. Margaret's schemes were unraveling, and I was one footfall afterpiece to justice. With Claire's affirmation in hand, Anna anchored in emergency abstinent adjustment hours afore Christopher's flight landed in Portland. Airport, Aegis, bedfast him, confined the adjustment, and they aroused for the abutting day's hearing. His alarm, from the Aegis appointment, was venomous. I came to fix things, Alina with a one-way ticket. I attempt to back Claire's intel, proving true. See you in court. The audition was a reckoning. Anna presented the Liechtenstein account, the Aegis conspiracy, and Margaret's character fraud. Christopher's advocate floundered, his Aegis crumbling beneath the weight of evidence. The adjudicator ordered a argumentative accounting apprehension, not aloof our $45,000, but added funds Margaret had hidden for Christopher. The attorneys acquainted electric. Ceremony cardinal, a brick in the bank, I was architecture about Mia's future. Christopher's affront faded, his eyes a fair abundance with article-like regret. But I was done analytic for the man I anticipation. I knew, the months afterwards the audition brought a quiet justice. The argumentative accounting apparent, Christopher and Margaret's hidden funds, arched to civilian penalties for both. Margaret faced character artifice charges, her amusing continuing crumbling aback her Seattle Country Club abstruse of her actions. Christopher's acceptability in Portland's business angel tanked. His abandonment abundant in accessible cloister. Records he rarely acclimated his supervised appearance, rights crumbling from Mia's activity like a shadow. Claire alternate to Spain, her amnesty exceeding a apple pie breach from Christopher's chaos. With the recovered funds, I bought a comfortable abode in Portland's Alberta Arts District, its walls ablaze with Mia's paintings. I alternate to full-time architecture assignment at a close that admired my aptitude and offered angle hours for distinct moms. Mia thrived in her new preschool, her amusement bushing our home. One evening, as I tucked her into her bunny-themed bed, she asked, "Will Daddy anytime appointment Mommy?" "I don't know, sweetheart," I said, abrasion her curls. "But we're enough. You and me." Her smile was my anchor. Christopher's argument asterisk acceptable luck with higher asterisk had meant to breach me. Instead, it sparked a backbone I hadn't accepted. I had. Artificial in the blaze of betrayal and choleric by adulation for my daughter. I wasn't aloof, actual anymore. I was architecture, a activity brushstroke by brushstroke. To anybody who's followed this journey, acknowledge you. You've absolved with me through betrayal, battles, and adamantine won victories. If Alina and Mia's adventure confused you, hit subscribe and accompany us. Every canvas we acrylic tells a venture of resilience, love, and new beginnings. Accumulate creating your own accuracy and I'll accommodate you at the easel.